Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a quick presentation and lecture on the light-dependent reactions of photosynthesis, which is the way in which plant cells produce ATP and NADPH, which are two very important energy molecules that are later going to be used in the Calvin cycle, which I'll be covering in a future lecture. So let's get started. So first of all, this all takes place in the chloroplast, and more specifically it takes place in the thylakoid membranes, which are usually found in a little stack like this, which is called a granum. So if you ever find that on a test, there's a quick hint for you. All right, let's get started with our amazing diagram here. So this all looks very daunting when you're first looking at it, but hopefully I can break this down into sort of digestible segments so everyone's able to understand this and get a good mark on their exam, because let's face it, that's why you're watching this video. So this all takes place on a phospholipid bilayer right here, and it all starts with photosystem 2. Photosystem 2 comes before photosystem 1, because that's the order in which they're discovered. If you want a sort of easier way to remember this, remember that the average wavelength, which is marked P680, is lower in photosystem 2 than photosystem 1, so that's how you know that's going to come first. So, it starts by a light photon from the sun hitting photosystem 2, which excites a bunch of electrons sitting here, which starts an electron transport chain, which causes them to move to a nearby electron acceptor called plastochionine, which is usually labeled PQ. Now, since this electron needs to be replaced, what's actually going to happen is PS2, which is a reducing agent, is able to split H2O into O2 and a hydrogen ion. Now, this O2 is actually the reason that we're able to breathe, which is a very interesting biology fact there. And this is profoundly interesting because H2O is actually very difficult to break up. It's not an easy molecule to break. So that this is able to happen every day and allow us to breathe is pretty remarkable. So, moving on, because of the energy of the electron, because like the energy is being lost generally as the electrons are moving, there's no more light energy hitting it. The energy is going to form sort of a concentration gradient here on the membrane, which is going to cause hydrogen ions to move across the membrane through these molecules here, plastochionine and the cytochrome complex, and they're going to move in here into the lumen. Now, these hydrogen ions are going to move all the way over here into the ATP synthase complex, which is a vastly important enzyme. And they're going to move up, and over here, the hydrogen ions are going to add a phosphate group to adenosine diphosphate, or ADP, which is going to create a adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, which is a super important product here. It's sort of the energy currency of the cells, if you will. So there's one product checked off. The other product here is going to be NADPH, and we'll go into how that is made right now. So the electrons here are still moving across this electron transport chain, and they're going to keep moving, and they're going to get zapped again by the light. You can think, the light is going to recharge them when they hit photosystem 1, so they have enough energy, and they're going to come over here, and alongside another hydrogen ion, they're going to combine with NADP plus and turn into NADPH, which is how we're going to get our two products, NADPH and ATP, and these are later going to be used to fuel the processes in the Calvin cycle, which is how these two products are turned into carbohydrates so that the plant has actually energy. So I hope this was useful for you guys, and good luck on your exams.